Yeah. You know, it's not a raging atheist stream if I don't start muted. Um, my settings should be better. So of course I'm going to start the stream muted. With everything should be going fine. Yeah, but I did realize it rather quickly. So I think we'll forgive this time, considering I haven't streamed in quite a while. But yeah, I'm back 2 days in a row. 2 days in a row. I decided, I wasn't gonna wait any time. I went and got the shite I needed to stream correctly. Hopefully this is gonna go a lot better. I've got a camera. I don't really have a lot of room to work with. I was really hoping to kind of be able to put my computer into a place to where I could have a background, but I don't. I pretty much have to have my computer in this little room here. This is going to do for now. As I kind of figure out like my rebrand, like technically I think, I could keep the Raging Atheist if I wanted to, because technically I am still an atheist, but I don't think it really portrays my true self right now. I am on this path. We'll see how long I walk it, and we'll see where it goes. I don't believe in the supernatural, but we'll talk about that at later times. I'm hoping to have StreamYard up and running, let's say soon, like maybe a week or so. Maybe, because I have a really weird sleeping schedule. I go to bed really early in the evening time, usually around 6 or 7 o'clock. So conversations might be earlier. But I do want to put it out that I want to maybe have an open room, see who can show up in the middle of an afternoon on a Saturday. Maybe not this Saturday, but the next Saturday. And I'm going to really reconsider this, consider this rebrand thing. The last rebrand I tried did not work. I'm not sure, I want this channel to be the channel that reflects my true self. And then we're going to have a reaction channel that I will let you know if you're interested in. I'm not going to probably promote it here on this channel. But if you are interested in that reaction channel, I'll talk more about it when it's coming up. That's going to be me and my daughter. If she's still interested in that, and it seems like she is, she better be. She's going to be the star of the show. Like, I've probably seen most movies to where she's barely seen any. I do make her watch my dorky fantasy stuff, but we missed the boat on the Marvel because that is our tradition. She's seen all of those, but she's going to pretty much be the first reaction person in our reaction channel. So, she's going to be important to it. But it is good to be back. I did get both monitors working. I don't want to say that when I tried to get my second monitor working the first time, that it was because I forgot to plug it in. But I definitely forgot to plug it in this time and almost took it back to the basement. Like, fuck it, this thing is broken. I'm going to go buy a new one. And then I realized, it's not plugged in. So I got it plugged in. I got it turned on. It is going great. I see Spooky's here, Kent Hovind CPA. A few people are here. Didn't really expect to have as many for the first stream yesterday as showed up, especially in the middle of the day. I'm going to be doing these early. But I really wanted to talk about this, and I'm really hoping that the settings are better. The playback yesterday was brutal. Still haven't got a chance to look at the side chat because the side chat wasn't up when I did the playback. So I'm going to try to do that again maybe this evening before bed, depending on how long this takes. This is a long show. This Jubilee is about 1 hour and 40 minutes. If you haven't seen it, it is something. It is something. It's featuring Medhi Hasan, one of my best moderate left debaters. One second, I think my daughter wants in. Let me turn my camera off really quick. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, yep, I forgot my soda. Run. I can't. All right. It's like a way to start the stream. I went and poured a soda and I left it down there, and it's like full and wanting to spill. But yeah, okay, so my settings should be better. We're gonna hope that it is going to be perfection today. Yeah, that playback was brutal. My volume was way too loud. I don't know where I have my phone. Huh. Who's sending me messages? James, somebody sent me a link. I'm just now getting the notification for it yesterday to talk to Smokey Saint. I was sleeping. Yep, I go to bed early. It's going to be really hard for me to do that type of thing again, because most people stream late. And even on my days off, I'm usually not up too late. We'll see how that's going to work out. But I do have a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on. I just have to get my thoughts in order. And be prepared to really start talking about the things that I have to talk about. It's been so long, y'all, really. Yesterday I was kind of off-put by things not working right. I'm a little off-put by my camera. Like, I want it to be wider. I got to remember how I did that before. I've got a lot of things that I need to remember, and then a lot of things to improve on. One of which being treating this as like the hobby that it is, as opposed to like something that it's not, which I did for so long. So I'm just going to have fun with it. I'm going to be my true self. I'm not going to really worry about, what I'm saying. This is all off the cuff. I don't really think that I'm going to have to combat this extremism too well, because I think Medhi Hasan does a really good job of it. But I think this is a good reflection of, and I will admit, like, it's pretty apparent, like, Jubilee was probably recruiting from the Nick Fuentes cesspool for this. I mean, one of these dudes is a known groiper, the one that's going to go viral, the one that's going to be very plain with what he is. He was definitely a groiper, and we'll talk about him when we get there. But most of these people are extremists. They're far-right extremists. And it's like, like, everybody acts like socialist is a bad thing. Pretty much everybody in America acts like socialism is this terrible, terrible thing. And yet a good significant part of America is extremely far-right, which I would say, and I would think that anybody that truly knew political philosophy would probably agree that, like, fascism is one of the most dangerous ideologies that's ever existed in the face of humankind. In the entire existence of our species, it's one of the most dangerous ideologies that there ever has been. I would equate it to, like, religion, but that's me, so yeah, we're gonna get into this. This disturbed me, but I think it's a reflection of where a certain aspect of our youth is in this country, and I think that it's something that we should be very aware of. And I think it's something that we need to be trying to combat. Our youth is clearly in desperate need of some education when it comes to politics, political philosophy, civics. Even economics would probably help a lot. And that's me saying that, like, a poor person that's never handled money well, like, these kids need to learn some shit about economics. But with that being said, we're going to hope everything's working perfectly. I'm just realizing I don't have the camera set up on the share screen here, so we're going to have to fix that really quick. And I'm going to just have to do like a quick job with it. We'll add it real quick. We'll get that out of there. We'll put this down here. See, and now really to do this right, I need to get that. That's not what I wanted. Let's get this down all the way to the bottom. That didn't do what I wanted it to do. What did I just do? Yeah, so of course when I think that I'm completely set up, I forget, oh yeah, you need to do all the screens. Alright, you need to do all the screens. Yeah, so we'll just make it smaller. Make it nice and easy. Stop all this finagling. Alright, here we go. Medhi Hasan versus 20 Extreme, far right. Nazis. I'm not gonna say like all of them are Nazis, but definitely quite a few are. So let's just go.
My family lineage is settlers from the 1500s.
Colonialists.
Yeah,
You
colonials.
don't look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you
Sorry,
talking about?
you're not.
What are you talking about?
You're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
Hey, what can I say?
I think you could say I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am.
Listen to me. I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal experience.
Get the hell out.
I don't even like... I should get the hell out.
Yes.
Why?
I don't want you here.
I'm Medhi Hasan. I'm a...
All right, so like right off the bat, like they show you the highlights. There's a lot more, but you see it. Like these are when I say 20 extremists, far right extremists, like this, you don't get much far right extremer. You don't get much far right extreme than these folks here, and it's a really scary thing that these are mostly young people. This first person, I think, is there's a debate about his age. I would put him at about 35 probably, but the rest of them seem fairly young and pretty set in their ideology, pretty secure with saying things that 10 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago, I don't think any of these people would dare say openly. And if you compare it to like the Republican of my youth, the extreme, the Tea Party Republicans, the extreme far right of my time, you always had your neo-Nazi skinheads, and this is about the time period when the neo-Nazi skinheads were leaving the streets of Seattle and the fight with Antifa there, and they were starting to grow their hair out, they were starting to put suits on, and they were starting the alt-right meme wars, right? But like, the Republican Party was extremist within itself, but it was that teabagger extremism. This new Republican Party, compared to that, it's exponentially like the window has moved exponentially so much more far right. And this generation seems pretty set on that. And I say that like I work with a lot of young people, and especially during the election, like their entire thing was, well, Kamala's going to get us into World War III. Trump is the anti-war president. And since that period, like these same people going from like these anti-war, like I would call them like anti-war moderates who just were really confused about who the fuck Donald Trump was, to now like they're just fine with all the fascism. And I think it's because it's become a fad within this young generation. And I think it's become a fad within the Republican Party now, that they are escalating it. That this notion of democracy bad, autocracy good. And Donald Trump doesn't help that when, he's propping up every autocrat that he can and calling them best friend.
Journalist and the editor of Zeteo, and today I'm surrounded by 20 far-right conservatives.
Yeah, I agree. Jill would have fit right in on this, but Jill would never show his face for it.
My first claim
Jill would turn
Donald
this
Trump
down
is pro-crime,
so he didn't have to show his face.
pro-criminal.
Like, if Jubilee would let him, like, phone in his, avatar picture of Jesus as Lord and talk that way, he would do it. But other than that, no, he would never do this. People might find out he's a white dude.
Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Medhi.
I would just like to ask, what makes someone pro-crime versus, anti-crime?
I think when you're soft on criminals, when you let criminals out of prison, when you pardon people who've assaulted police officers, you're pro-criminal. Donald Trump pardoned almost 1,600 people who were involved in January the 6th. I think 600 of them had been charged with assaulting a police officer or obstructing a police officer. 170 had pled guilty to assaulting a police officer. 70 had pled guilty to assault with a deadly weapon. J.D. Vance said, we're not going to pardon the violent criminals from January 6th. Donald Trump pardoned all of them. Are you okay with that?
I would say January 6th is a very special case. I would say it's almost a climax point in history. I would just phrase the question this way. Right now in the LA protest.
I mean, I would agree with the analogy that it's a climax point in history. No, actually, I would disagree with the analogy. That because climax indicates near the end, right? Like the crescendo of the battle. And I think January 6th was the beginning or near the beginning of the true fascism in America. Like before January 6th, we weren't really combating fascism. We were combating conspiracy. We were saying the word Hitler a lot, but it was because, Donald Trump was doing a lot of like Hitler comparisons himself. And there was a lot of comparisons, and some of the things that he was doing, especially like the whole "Make America Great Again" thing, is totally a Hitler thing. But I think that like the true fascism was seen it was seen on that scale for the first time with January 6th, and that was the beginning of this battle that we're fighting. And I think that we need to realize that we're in a war. I spoke of this Destiny thing yesterday that I watched. And I'm planning on probably watching that. And I know everybody's like, don't watch Destiny. And I get that. I don't really watch Destiny anymore. Not since the sex shit. I'm letting that shit resolve. He is one of my favorite moderate debaters, but his stance on Israel is atrocious. So pretty much since October 7th of last year, I really haven't watched him. This was fascinating just because it came up on my feed. It beat my algorithm, and I saw it. And I wanted to see the clusterfuck, but what I found fascinating about it was it was like these liberals eating each other, but it was like they still want to play nice, with fascists, and I don't like. No, it's not time to play nice. It's time to fight a war. Fascism's here in America, and it's not like why be nice to fascists? Like why would you want a fascist to come under your umbrella? Like until they're not a fascist anymore, they're not worth that energy, in my opinion. But I'm thinking about maybe taking a look at it just because. And the other thing that I found odd was like leftists seem to be enemy number one to these liberals. And I don't know if that's a Destiny hemisphere or a liberal hemisphere thing. And that's something I'm interested in finding out, because like if you think lefties are your biggest enemy, then we're never going to be MAGA ever.
If they were to, just for example, they were to rush the capital of LA, I mean, they'd have to move over all the homeless people living in tents on the.
Somebody's calling fact of the matter. They said, "Hey Hillary." So Hillary's email. I've actually defined fascism several times. I'm not going to do it again. I like to use dictionary definitions, just so we can be really, really clear. I'm not going to be able to define it in your made-up version of the definition. Hillary's emails. I'm not clairvoyant like that.
Steps at the Capitol. But if they were managed to get into the Capitol and they were just protesting, peacefully, let's say police officers were rushing them in. They were letting them in and saying, hey, you guys can go in, like we have many testimonies that say.
What about the violent ones, though?
Okay.
But please stick around Hillary's email, because I'm not the one calling these folks fascists. I'm not. They are. This isn't like, I'm not calling this kid. I'm not saying every single person here is a fascist. They're all extremists. But the fascists are here, and they're not going to run away from it. So stick around.
Violent ones like
what? Like a man named David Dempsey, a Reagan-appointed judge, sentenced to 20 years in prison.
What's up, Maya?
He stomped on police officers' heads. The judge said his conduct was exceptionally egregious. He attacked police officers with flagpoles and pepper spray. Donald Trump pardoned him. There's a man named Daniel Rodriguez. He got 12 years in prison for taking a stun gun and tasing a police officer in the neck and giving him a heart attack. The judge said he was a one-man army of hate. Donald Trump pardoned him. Does that not make Trump pro-criminal? He's letting violent criminals out of prison.
I would say no, it doesn't make him pro-criminal.
You're okay with that?
I did not say that.
Like what the fuck? Like literally, if you're letting, like violent criminals out of prison on a mass level, how can you be anything but pro-criminal? Like, the thing about the topics that Medhi chose here, and I understand like Jubilee helps the person with their topics. Jubilee has some say in the topics, but these topics are really good. They're really hard to argue against. And you're going to notice a trend. This guy, he's trying to argue against it. Let me make sure my volume's still working, because I hit my cord. this guy's trying to argue, but he's just doing a really bad job about it. But you're gonna notice, like, they don't even try to argue against his topics, his I can't think of the word right now, but they're not gonna try. In fact, they're gonna agree most of the time, and they just don't care. It's fucking cray cray.
Said that one pardon against somebody.
It was 1,600 pardons. 600 of those were people charged
one
with.
example that you just gave me.
I am still bald.
Should I keep going?
Fine,
still
fine.
bald.
And I'll say the exact same thing every single
Then
time.
your argument
but-
will fall apart because it's
Okay,
not just
go
one
for
example.
it.
You know, I haven't even talked about it. I do need to put like a side by side. I've got my camera on now. You guys see the weight loss. I've done quite a bit of weight loss. I do want to, put a side by side, like me now, me a year and a half ago, just so we can do that. And I'm gonna do that. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Like I said, I wasn't really planning on doing this, but I went and bought the shit I needed to buy, and I got it set up, kinda. So I'm like, fuck it. Let's watch this Surrounded here.
If I keep
for it.
going.
Go for it then.
Hopefully it's a
Shane
lot better than
Jenkins got
yesterday.
7 years in prison for 9 criminal offenses, attacking police with a deadly weapon, destroying government property.
How do
Trump pardoned
pardons
him.
that probably shouldn't have happened turn into pro-crime?
So you've agreed that they shouldn't have been pardoned?
Sure, but that wasn't your claim. Was January 6th? Your claim was Trump is pro-crime.
Yeah, because he pardons criminals.
Okay, I
He
would say that
pardoned
that's a fault.
Let's talk about non-January
Sure.
6 people.
Okay.
He's pardoned people like Paul Wolchak recently, who took millions of dollars from his own employees, was sentenced to tax crimes, had to pay back $4 million. Trump pardoned him. He bought himself a $2 million yacht. Why is he pardoning criminals like that?
Well, I don't know. I don't think you should. I don't think really presidential pardons should be a thing at all. But I don't.
I
think,
agree.
I don't.
All right, like this kid was like not from the Groiper pool, like you can tell. Definitely needs to up his debate skill. But hey, shit, I've been crushed 3 times that I admit, in real debate. It happens to all of us. The thing that I don't understand, and this is something that I haven't understood for like a decade, is like these fucking right-wing kids wearing suits or shirt and tie, like it's fucking annoying as fuck. Like what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It's just like arrogant. Just I don't know why I've always felt like that. It's just like you're portraying a level of intelligence that you just don't have, or a level of success that you just don't have. And I've always found it to be really fake. And do you guys find that to be fake? Like I've always wondered, like, am I alone in that? Like I just find it to be super fucking fake. Be you. Like it's one of the things that I've never really understood about Republicans and their bigotries. Like, my gripe really isn't that people have bigotries. I think that's kind of like this normal human thing. I think that it's something that we should be fighting against and striving to get better as humanity. But I think that it's a human thing. What drives me crazy about people's bigotries is that if you're so adamant in your belief, then fucking espouse that belief, and in this you're gonna get that, and I have to rethink that whole philosophy there, because no, I don't think I want you like espousing like the worst shit ever, because it's pretty fucking stupid. Like it's not scary. You're gonna see. Like I didn't get really scared. Like the only scary thing about this is that it's kids. I just thought they were fucking stupid. Like they were fucking idiots, and we need to like educate kids better.
I think that.
All right, pause.
That means something.
You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Thanks.
If you're a man over 30 who makes at least 150 grand a year and you're still embarrassed
ads.
to take your
I don't have. I forgot that I keep forgetting to
shirt
put
off at
an
the
ad
pool,
blocker on.
your number one
Oh,
priority should be to get shredded.
Stop it. Skip. All right. I keep forgetting. I got to put an ad blocker on. Like people have given me like so many ad blockers, and I'll look at them for a second, and then I just won't put them on. And I need to do that. Like it's about time. I think it's about time. Oh, all right. Yeah, this motherfucker here. I said the first dude. This dude was the dude that I said there's some debate about his age, because most of these are younger folks. But this dude, like to me, is like definitely 35. And he'll talk about like how he's been to protest, and I've seen some egregious shit. Like I don't doubt that this dude right here has been to several BLM protests, but I can almost guarantee that the egregious shit that he's talking about is shit that he's done. I can almost guarantee it, and I think most of you are going to probably agree by the time he's done talking.
Medhi.
You're from
It's not even going to take long. It's going to be his like first two sentences.
Northern UK, I guess?
I'm from London, North London.
Okay, fair enough. What's your ethnic background, if you don't mind my asking?
My parents are from India.
Okay, perfect. Just getting premise here. First of all, I want to say
The premise of Donald Trump being pro-crime.
No. I want to concern myself with why you care about what's happening in the U.S., first and foremost. Secondly, I want to say this. With the
Should people who live in the U.S. not care about?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that YouTube doesn't like ad blockers. Thank you, Sophia of Athens. Is that midnight? Sophia, are you midnight?
Interrupt each other because I have this thing. People know, I have this thing. I have to stay calm. Okay, so here's the thing. I am happy that he released J6. In fact, so much so that I was prepared to protest if he didn't.
Okay.
So when you say, are you okay that he's pro-crime? Sure, because you know what? We're changing the definition of what crime is, first and foremost.
You don't think stomping on police officers' heads is a crime?
I don't think it's no longer a relevant conversation anymore. You're
Really?
arguing. No, it's not, because you know what? Okay, have you seen the U.S. in the last 4 or 5 years?
Yes, I've
BLM protests.
lived here for a
Have you
while.
seen?
So
Okay,
midnight.
I myself have been involved in these protests. I've seen egregious things that you couldn't even imagine.
So we
being
have no
done
rules
to
then?
conservatives. It's not about that. It's about
about?
tribal warfare.
Okay.
That's what
All right, so and plenty of people that I've seen in reacting to this have made this point. So I'm not going to claim this point as my own, but like at this point in humanity, like there isn't much that's unimaginable, right? Like these unimaginable, egregious acts that you've seen at protests, like why the fuck they ain't make the news, dog? Like, in fact, I think that you're probably talking about your own acts and that you've got some guilt. And that's why you're describing and using those words that you're using. Like, seriously, like it's like he's got like this inner guilt for the crimes he's committed in the past, and it subtly comes out with a Freudian slip.
where we're at in the U.S. I don't know where you're at in the UK. You're from India, so I don't really.
I'm not from India.
Oh, sorry, your parents are from India, so
I'm an American
you have
citizen.
your own stakes.
I'm an American, you know.
You're an American citizen?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know how
Yes.
you got that, but fair enough. Here's the thing.
Are you an American citizen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But here's the
Not
thing.
sure how you got that. Okay.
Born here.
What's up, Leo?
Born here, and my family lineage is settlers from the 1500s, so I have some stake in the claim here, okay?
But you're
a little different
But you're
than
a
yours.
descendant of immigrants.
Hopefully
Settlers.
there's no lag. I actually do have
Yeah,
the
you don't
stream
look- you don't
on.
look
very Native
It
American
looks
to me.
all right. Looks like
I
we're
am
doing
Native
good.
American.
Hopefully the
Whites are
volume.
Native Americans. What are you
Sorry,
talking about?
You're not.
All right, I spoiled that because I started talking when I shouldn't have. Yeah, that's whites are Native Americans. Like that blows my fucking mind. You know, like all the shit Republicans gave Elizabeth Warren for claiming like what. Like I think she said she had like 1/16 blood, something like that, and it turns out it was like this minute percentage of native blood, and they gave her shit forever, you know, and I get shit for it all the time. I remember getting drunkenly outraged over being called a $5 Indian on stream, way back in the day, you know, so it's. To say that like white people are Native Americans, but we're gonna rewind that a little bit, is just like it's this turnaround that we keep seeing with these righty tighties, man. You know, like I think the best example of the turnaround was like their turnaround on Russia, because it was always like the Republican Party that was anti fucking Russia to a core, and then you know Putin comes along, and I would say it was even like before Trump came along, like you started to see Republicans, well, like maybe Russia's not so bad now that Putin's here, and now that Trump's here, it's like, you know, giving them reach arounds and shit.
What are you talking about?
You're
Whites are Native Americans.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I think
What was
Yeah, I ruined that, so let's go back a little bit.
Here's the thing.
Are you an American citizen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But here's the
Not
thing.
sure how you got that. Okay.
Born here.
Okay.
Born here, and my family lineage is settlers from the 1500s, so I have some stake in the
Okay.
claim here, okay?
But you're
a little different
But you're
than
a
yours.
descendant of immigrants, settlers,
I didn't know.
colonialists.
Yeah,
You don't
colonials.
look, you don't
yeah.
look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites
not.
are Native Americans. What are
Sorry,
you talking about?
you're not.
What are you talking about?
You're not.
Whites are Native Americans.
Really?
I think
What was
you're-
happening before the
I-
1500s?
Another thing you're gonna find in this is like people will make like these really absurd statements like whites are Native Americans, and they're all gonna fucking applaud it, and like it's some fucking Einstein moment, and that's like freaky, man. that's like herd mentality at its finest. And they're gonna do it over the worst shit. You're as you will see.
I think you're getting confused with it.
I don't mind going on a tangent, but what was happening before the 1500s?
Calm down. I think you're getting.
What was happening before the 1500s?
There was indigenous people here that came here from Asia.
Do you know what indigenous means?
Listen, before
indigenous
America,
people can't come from somewhere else.
Why do you ask a question if you're going to interrupt?
I'm not sure if you know what the meaning of indigenous means.
I do know what it means. It means they came here first, right? They came here from Asia by way of land bridge. Have an argument with Neil deGrasse Tyson or anybody else about that. I don't care.
Is he an American?
I mean, technically, like the land bridge theory is one of the theories. I think it's the most plausible, but it's not the only theory. As far as I know, unless the science has changed and they've found more evidence that, you know, it's not like set in stone that it was land bridge how they got here.
I don't care. Yes, he is.
Okay, just checking.
But I tend to agree that it's probably the land bridge.
Nothing to do with crime. So far, you've agreed with me that these people are criminals.
Because you're derailing, dude. I'm trying to stay on track.
You literally sat down and asked me where I'm from. I think you derailed this conversation from the get-go.
By that, but I'm
not offended. I'm just wondering what it has to do with crime.
Curious.
We're going to talk about immigration. Don't worry. Later on, you can come back.
I hope so.
Right now, you're doing a very bad job of making the case that he's not pro-crime.
I just got a round of applause. I could probably get another one actually if I asked for it.
Wow.
So I don't think I'm doing as bad.
Is this how you get rounds of applause? You sit in a room with 20 people who agree with you. Wow, amazing. Amazing. That must make you feel good.
You know what?
Maybe he is Mormon.
Good point.
I'm emotionally outraged right now. This is great.
I love it.
Do I have to say anything at this point, or are you just going to keep going?
No, please.
Okay.
Make your claim.
Well, my claim is that I don't care if it's pro-crime. You want to go back to the topic of conversation?
That's fine. We agree then. He's pro-crime
but
and you
I have
don't
a question for you, though. Do you care on the opposite side of the spectrum?
Yes.
Do you care about law being administered to the opposite side of the spectrum?
I think anyone who assaults a police officer shouldn't be pardoned. I think that Donald Trump shouldn't have pardoned 9 Republican members of Congress who were convicted of crimes, and I don't think Joe Biden should commit. I don't think Democrats should pardon Democrats.
When you list on apartments.com, renters will start coming out of the woodwork.
Fucking ads. Like, seriously, when I was watching this 2 days ago, I can't remember getting a single ad when I watched this 2 days ago. Like, YouTube got some freaky shit going on. They know when you're fucking streaming. It's like, you're not going to get much ad play on my stream, dog. At least not yet. At least not yet. All right, let's get back to it. Yeah.
No, because you're arguing from a position of like a U.S. that doesn't exist anymore. Okay. We're headed towards
nihilism. No laws, nothing matters.
It's not about
everyone's pro-crime.
It's not about that. It's that conservatives for too long have been playing it safe. They've been playing by the
Yeah, true, Maya. Like, maybe I was watching it somewhere else. Like, maybe I didn't watch it on Jubilee, because I am definitely watching it on the Jubilee channel now.
Law. They've been playing by the law. Yes, they have.
Maybe you missed the Bush presidency. Did you live here during the Bush years?
Conservatives are
didn't
so
play by
concerned.
the law, George W. Bush, nor did Ronald Reagan.
Let's be respectful to you. Let me finish.
I'm not sure you've been that respectful. But okay.
Let's be respectful.
Bring it back. So let's both.
Let's be respectful.
Okay.
Indians.
Okay?
Really?
Let me tell you this. We do play it too safe. We've been playing it by the book for too long. Okay. At this point.
Like, and that, like, that's some cop out shit like the right does, right? Like, let's be respectful after we've been disrespectful to each other for 10 minutes. Now you want to be respectful? No, it's too late for that.
Gloves are off, right? The left has made their point. They're willing.
Wait, this is like my favorite point of the day.
The left.
Yes. Are you kidding me? The left? Are you insane?
Police officers.
Look at LA right here. You think those stand down?
You think the LAPD are a bunch of liberal Marxists?
No, but I think they listen to liberal Marxists who tell them what to do.
Okay.
I think they listen to who signs their paychecks at the end of the day.
Can I just check, because you're doing lots of little diversions.
All right, so like his point is that for decades, Republicans have pretty much towed the line while Democrats have run rampant and just obliterated the country with their dirty games. And I'm like, what reality do you live in? Like, I've often wondered this. Like, if Democrats were half as effective as Republicans seem to claim they are, like, we would probably be about 200 years ahead when it comes to, like, social happiness and social order in this country. right? Like, if Democrats were half as fucking effective as Republicans seem to think that they are, then half of us wouldn't be calling for new leadership. Half of us wouldn't. Democrats wouldn't be like. I think they had their most lowest approval rating ever in the history of the country since polls were taken, like at 28% approval rating. If we were half as effective as they seem to think we are, we would have universal health care, we'd have paid family leave, the tax stimulus that Joe Biden couldn't get passed would have passed. The problem is, in reality, it's the reverse. It's Democrats, who was supposed to be the party for the people, the party for the working person, totally sold their souls to the same corporate masters that the Republicans had always sold their souls to. And all it's done is lead to this charade up until the Trump era of Democrat versus Republican. Now, in the Trump era, Trump has just taken it and put it on steroids, especially now with this whole Obama shit, which eventually, I'd like to have a room and talk about that, but it's going to be, we'll see what kind of room I can fill in the middle of the afternoon on a Saturday. But this shit with Obama is crazy, and I don't know, the MAGA hatred for the left. I've talked about this before. My dad is MAGA, and he hates the left, and I have to assume he hates me. I'm afraid to ask him, because that's where we are in our relationship. So
we both agree Donald Trump's
that's where we're at.
We're just fine with it.
No,
Is that the position?
I don't.
That's what you've
agree
said
with
so
your-
far
I don't
for about
agree with your
5 minutes.
I don't agree with your definition.
What's
of
your
crime.
definition of crime?
It doesn't
Stomping
matter.
on a police officer's head is not a crime. That's
no,
your
what I'm
definition
saying-
of crime as the
He keeps getting
Native
me out of it.
American.
I am Native American.
If you say so.
So, going back to the topic at hand, we have different definitions of crime because you're talking about.
Well, it's been a while too, so I don't know who's gonna know that I'm streaming and doing rooms. But yeah, I'm back. I just gotta, change the name and rebrand and all that shit. We'll get there. I'm really interested. It seems like nobody's complaining about volumes or echoes so I'm assuming things are going well with this stream. I can't wait to kind of watch it back. I think I have my settings where I want them, but we shall see.
Convenient. There's
It's
a
not
criminal
about-
code
it's
in
not
this
about
country.
what's
It's called the
convenient.
U.S. Criminal Code.
You know what? Let's focus
That's
on
what
what we
everyone
agree on.
focuses
I'm
on.
sure you and I actually agree on a lot
Do we
more than
agree
you
that
realize.
people shouldn't stomp on police officers' heads? Can we agree on that? If
I'm
you don't
not-
agree on that, then I really think this conversation is kind of
No,
pointless.
because first of all, you're saying what? That the police have the authority, that they're given the authority. I don't accept the authority.
Oh yeah. My dad knows I'm left. My dad definitely knows I'm a lefty. I don't hide that I'm socialist. I say it proudly in real life. Even though I would really consider myself a soft socialist. I use the term more as a I don't know, just to normalize it a little bit, than actually being like a hard leftist or a hard socialist. I definitely agree with the socialist ideals. I think it's the politic for the poor. But there's also things that I'm definitely not socialist about. So definitely a soft socialist, but I use it proudly.
Authority that's been
It's a
given by
very
liberal
conservative position.
I'm
the conservative are pro-police.
Then you
Or
don't
we
know what a
redefine-
real. Hey, listen,
so
you're
we
in a room
redefine
with
crime.
juggernauts right now.
We
Okay?
redefine
I'm telling you right now,
conservatives.
you are going to be blown
I
open
mean,
if you think
yeah,
that my
if we're going to
position
struggle
is
with the
alt-right,
English
you
language
have
for the
no
next couple
idea
hours, then yeah,
what you're
we'll
up
struggle.
against right now. Okay.
100%.
Yeah. Newsflash: the conservatives are liberal to me. Okay. Neocons, the libertarians, all those mainstream people, there might as well be.
So like the truth comes out now, like he's like, newsflash, I'm a Nazi. He's just not actually saying, hey, I'm a fascist. We will get there. Hillary's email, you better still be in the side chat, because you're like, oh, Knock doesn't know what the fucking word fascist means, even though I've defined it several times. Like, this is the thing that I don't understand. You can give a definition the MAGA movement will fucking completely fall into it. And, oh, that's not what fascism means. Like, no, dipshit, it is. It's not what you think it means or what you want it to mean. Because you're ashamed of yourself. But these people, they're not ashamed. And you gotta kind of respect that. But they are stupid.
Leftist to me, okay? That's how far to the right I am. Do you understand my position? So when
I
you say,
kinda guessed it when you sat down.
say, about obeying police, why would I give the authority to police? Do
you
you know
think-
here in America?
Working in social welfare changed my mind on socialism very quickly, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know what your definition of socialism is, what you think socialism is, or how social welfare really has anything to do with that. Socialists aren't looking for handouts.
Do you think Donald Trump should be pardoning 9 members of Congress who committed financial crimes? Are you pro financial crime?
Do you know
pro financial crime?
Do you know
All
who
right,
Thomas
pause.
Timbo is?
Pause.
I think the people who clapped you voted you out.
All right. Head back to your seat. You've been voted out by the majority.
Nice to meet you.
Because our health is connected to our environment.
Lots of ads. They are letting me skip quite a few of them though, and they're kind of shorter ads, so just to get to see my thinner face up closer for a little while. How y'all doing? Still got like 6 people watching. I don't know if I'm gonna do this whole thing. We might do it in parts, cause it's like I've got like 2 hours to bedtime. All right, so this dude. All right, yeah, this one's fun as well. I'd like to get to Fash Boy.
As possible, but the truth is your claim is completely bad faith. You do not care about being anti-crime. You yourself are pro-crime. Your side is pro-crime because you're a progressive.
How am I pro-crime?
So I'll give you an example, right? So your side, not Donald Trump, has passed a series of laws in California. Let's go with California. It's where we are right now. It's where I'm from. I don't know. Are you from California?
No.
Or okay. So in California, for example, the state legislature, completely progressive, just passed a law that limits sex offender registration to 10 years. It was life before. That's pro-crime. The legislature in California, which is progressives again, has passed a law that says...
I don't know, Lord, I'd have to consider it. So I'm for like economic freedom in the workplace. I'm definitely for strong labor unions, maybe some, I don't know. I'd really have to consider it. I'm all for like a really, really strong social safety net. And I don't know where you're at, but I think that poor people need help. And I think that not even poor people need help. Actually, like 60% of America needs help. 60% of America is living paycheck to paycheck. We have great wealth inequality. I think that capitalism has failed. I think it's like anybody that does an honest analysis of capitalism in 2025 can see that it's failing. With capitalism, you were always going to have like a wealth gap, but it's grown so exponentially huge, like it's unsustainable at this point. The fact that we definitely need a universal healthcare system. Anybody that argues against it at this point just doesn't understand what age they're in, what era of the world they're in. Every sophisticated modern country in the world has a universal healthcare system except for us. We have one of the worst. Anybody that argues for our system or for our broken capitalism just doesn't really understand economics. I as a poor person can honestly say I probably understand the economic system of this country better than like most people that try to argue this shit. Like there's no way you can look at this system and think that it's working. Like I've got people in my family, they make a shit ton of money, but they're living paycheck to paycheck just like me, and they've got a lot more to lose when they lose everything than I do. And I'm a lot more well adapted to live in the situation of having nothing. So when these people lose everything, they're going to be fucking lost. I feel sorry for them, that they actually think that they're going to make it. like you're not going to make it. This system is unsustainable. So I mean, I don't really want to go on a socialist tirade when the show here is about the far right. But like to me, it's like I don't know. any poor person that isn't a socialist at this point just doesn't understand political philosophy enough to understand what's beneficial to them.
The voter-induced 3-strike law is no longer absolute. If someone attempt murders someone, stabs someone on 3 separate occasions, a judge now does not have to give them life. That's a progressive law. That is not. That is pro-crime. You support that, don't you?
I actually don't support sex offenders coming off a list. I think they should be on for life.
Okay, so you disagree with progressives.
So hold on. You and I both agree that sex offending is a bad thing, especially child sex offending, right?
It seems
like I don't see how it gets abused. Like, what do you mean? Like, people pay into this shit, you know. Like, I don't see how it gets abused by anybody. I mean, anybody that's really ever had to fill out the forms, like now, like it's not like anybody can just get the shit. I just don't. I think people assume people abuse it because people pretend that they know more than they do. People want to sit on their pedestals and on their thrones and judge everybody around them because they think they're so pure, but none of us are, and that's the truth of the matter.
it's like you and I agree on that.
I
the
agree
legislature
on that.
of California doesn't.
So I'm not here to debate the legislature of California. I'm here to debate Donald Trump being pro-crime. And I'm saying that Donald Trump was friends with Ghislaine Maxwell. When Ghislaine Maxwell, who's the worst child sex trafficker of our lifetime, she's serving over 20 years. Do you know Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yeah, she's actually not. Jeffrey Epstein's the worst sex trafficker.
He's dead. I'm talking about people alive. Right?
It's interesting though. You didn't use.
Let me turn my attention back to this. All right, so it's funny because he like walks right into this, and you have to understand like. I think Medhi recently did an interview where he said that this was filmed about 3 weeks ago, so we'll call it like 4 weeks ago at this point. This was filmed about a month ago before the Epstein shit really hit the fan. But this kid just kind of walks right into this. All right, so like let's dismiss Ghislaine Maxwell because you know Epstein is the biggest pedophile in the history of the world. Oh yeah, but not great for you.
It's his name, right? Wouldn't he be the one who did this?
Oh, great. I'm glad you brought up Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, before he died, did an interview with Michael Wolff. He's on tape. I don't know if you heard the tape. He says, my closest friend was Donald Trump. I was his closest friend. Elon Musk, I'm not sure if you've heard of him. He tweeted recently that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files. Yes. And Ghislaine Maxwell, who was the right-hand woman of Jeffrey Epstein, when she was on trial for child sex offending, which you and I are opposed to, Donald Trump stood up and said, good luck to her, I wish her well. So yeah, that makes him pro-crime and pro-criminal if he's being soft on child sex traffickers,
well, you just said they
like
were his
Epstein.
Friends. He's
no, I'm saying he was friends. He was friends with Epstein. You haven't seen the videos? They danced together, partied together. Epstein said I was his closest friend.
He's not supported the pedophilia part. The only people supporting pedophilia
that's not
are
true.
the left.
Trump gave a speech about 20 years ago where he said Epstein's a great guy. He loves young women. A lot of them are very young. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, laugh, laugh. So yeah, I think he's pro-crime and pro-criminal.
So you think he's pro-crime for having a friend who's do you have any friends who are criminals?
Not that I know of. Certainly not child sex offenders. No, do you?
No, of course not.
Okay, so we're both in agreement again. So why are you defending Donald Trump?
If it came out tomorrow that one of your friends was a child sex trafficker,
you know what I'd do?
You'd stop being friends with them.
Yes, and I wouldn't say.
And then I'd go on TV and I would say, "Oh, look, Mr. Hasan was friends with this guy 10 years ago. Therefore, he's pro-child sex trafficking." Said,
like I wonder, you know, now that we're like 3 weeks into this Epstein thing, like, did Republicans ever wonder in their wildest dreams that they would be like defending pedophiles? I don't fucking understand the reality of the life that we live right now.
I wish them well when they're on trial. Wouldn't you ever go at me for that?
You wish your friend well on trial?
Yeah, child sex trafficker. Would you be mad?
I wouldn't wish someone well, but that's
Donald
your
Trump
gotcha.
Did.
That's your gotcha.
It's a pretty big gotcha.
He wished your friend
pretty
well.
big gotcha.
Okay,
he praised
what you're really trying to do right now is you're trying to get back to Donald Trump on a personal level.
Elon Musk says his name.
What's his policy?
Oh, you want to talk policies?
Yes.
So when he left office in 2020, he left behind the highest murder rate for over 100 years.
He left behind the highest murder.
Yes.
That is the most bad faith claim you could possibly make.
It's a fact from the CDC data.
And you know what? Here's why it's bad faith.
Can I finish a sentence and then you can come back in?
You're just lying to people. Donald Trump.
I'm lying?
Yes,
can I finish the sentence?
Donald Trump does not.
You know, it's funny. I see what's kind of going on in the side chat, and I'm surprised that I have anybody here. So it's good to see all of you. But you know, I seen this meme the other day on Facebook as you know, oh boy walked into the Epstein thing, and he's regretting it now. But I seen this meme the other day, if I can remember it real quick. Oh yeah, it's Republicans have no problems. Republicans have no problems utilizing their taxes for bombs, but they definitely draw the line when it comes to Doritos, right? Like, oh wait, somebody's getting Doritos on my dime. They're not killing people. condemn. Like it's fucking crazy to me. Like, what do you care what other people fucking do, man? Do you have? Is your belly full? Is your family happy? What difference does it fucking make to you? My taxes are being your taxes are being given to billionaires. That doesn't bother you. You're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. Most of your taxes go to billionaires or death. You're a hypocrite.
Cause the murder rate. Murder is a state level
that's
crime.
hilarious.
Gavin Newsom is more responsible for the murder rate than Donald Trump is.
That's hilarious. So Donald Trump's not responsible for murder rate, but other politicians who are Democrats
Yes,
are.
because it's
Everyone
a state
can see
level
your
law.
partisan
That's
shit.
like saying I'll say Republicans are too. State governors who are soft on crime are the ones that are
Let
responsible
me finish
for
a
murder
sentence.
rates.
When Donald Trump left office in 2020, between 2019 and 2020, according to data from the CDC, from the FBI, from Pew Research, the 30% increase in the murder rate between 2019 and 2020. It was the single biggest jump in the murder rate since 1905.
And who's doing
so he's pro-crime
who's doing the murdering?
and
Aren't they
pro-criminal.
responsible? Who's doing the murdering?
The murderers.
So aren't they responsible
But why
for the
did it
murder
go
rate?
up on his watch?
What?
Why did it go up on his watch?
Gee,
He's
that's
very
a real
bad
hard.
at-
That's
he's
a real
very bad
hard
at
one.
fighting crime.
That's a
for
real hard one to
Republicans.
figure out, right? We shut down the whole economy during COVID. We told everyone they couldn't go out unless it was to violently protest. We told people that if a cop tries to arrest you, that cop's probably going to get charged with murder.
No, I think the pandemic had a lot to do with it. But
Right,
the
so
pandemic
did he
didn't
cause
finish
that?
in 2020.
What?
The pandemic didn't finish in
No, but
2020.
you asked why the murder rate
and
went
yet
up.
if we're
The
going to
murder
play the
rate
what
went up
about game,
because of
you
all
guys
these
blame Joe
factors.
Biden for crime for years.
What Joe
For
Biden
years.
actively induces policies that are pro-crime. I'm asking
So
you
does
for a
Donald
second.
Trump. Okay.
Name the policy
I'll
that's
name one right
pro-crime.
now. I'll name
Please,
one right
I've asked
now.
you for like 10 minutes.
I'll name
Please
one
do
right
that.
now. No, you haven't actually. You talked
What,
about
some of
California legislatures. He pardoned violent criminals
That's
who
not-
then went
that's
on
not a
to
policy.
commit
He
other
did-
crimes. You don't think releasing violent crimes into
A
the
pardon is
community?
a one-time thing. What's his policy
know-
he has pushed? Name a law he
Hold
has
on, no.
signed.
A pardon
What
is a
law has he
one-time
signed?
thing. Is a policy is not one-time thing.
That's like Jimmy Carter pardoned the
You
draft.
guys
No, listen,
may want to dodge January 6th, the pardons.
I'm not dodging that.
Then
Jimmy
deal with
Carter.
it. Did you agree with
I'm
them?
gonna right now.
Do you agree with
Jimmy
them?
Carter
Do you
pardoned
agree with
draft
the pardons?
dodgers. Does that mean his
I don't,
policy was
I don't
no one
support
has to...
Jimmy Carter. Do you
Okay.
support the pardoning of people who went on to be prosecuted for sexually abusing a 7-year-old child, illegal gun possession?
Like, I don't even see how you can like defend it. Like, especially if you're a Republican. Now, this, I don't know. I'd say he's probably late 20s, maybe early 30s, but I'd say late 20s. Like, Republicans have pretended to be pro-cop, pro-blue, Blue Lives Matter bullshit forever. You're supposed to be the party of law and order, and your president released like 1,600 criminals. And that's just in one swoop, with one sweep of the pen. And, you know, Medhi's bringing up some of the other pardons, but there's been, compared to other presidents, a ton more. And they're all fucking cray-cray pardons, like crazy pardons, like Roger Stone getting pardoned, or that Chicago mayor that like fucking robbed the city. Like, I can't remember his name. The dude was on The fucking Apprentice like 3 times. You know, like, I can't remember the dude's name. Or maybe it was like some sexual scandal. I think it was a sexual scandal with that dude. So yeah, no wonder Donald likes that dude. But it's just like so many fucking cray-cray pardons that if any Democrat ever done them, they would be like the most, you know, pro-crime president in the history of the world. Like the mental gymnastics that they have to do, and they're not defending it well. It's just like, that's not pro-crime. Like, no, yeah, it is. it's like the definition of pro-crime. If you look up pro-crime now in the definition, there's a picture of an orange president.
Reckless homicide.
Now, see,
These are
there's
people
more
who
bad
released-
faith. See,
these are
there's more
people who
bad
released
faith.
from
He
prison.
didn't pardon someone for sexually abusing a
No, but
child.
they went on to be
pardoned
convicted
someone
of it.
for
So
rebelling
that's a-
against the government that they believe
No,
had
they-
rigged elections. That's what he pardoned them for. He didn't pardon them for sexual child abuse.
But they were criminals who committed those crimes. He let them out, so that means
Now,
the crime rate goes up.
So you say they're criminals because they did the crime, right?
Yeah.
Would you extend that to illegal immigrants, that they're all criminals because they committed a crime? I have a feeling your position is going to change.
Supreme Court. We're going to talk about immigration.
Someone who's illegally entered the United States, not a criminal, but somebody who illegally entered the Capitol
Not
is.
according to the Supreme Court of the United States?
The Supreme Court has said that anyone who enters the United States
The
illegally
Supreme
is not
Court,
a criminal.
and we could jump to future claims.
Can I get the case
We
site?
can jump to 20. You want to get the case?
The case site, please. You said the Supreme Court
The
said,
citation of the case.
Yes, that entering the United States illegally is not a crime.
It's called Arizona versus United States 2012. Go look it up.
Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
If you don't know where to start,
I guarantee you he didn't go look it up. I guarantee you.
Top Heroes World.
All right. I guarantee he didn't go look it up. Are we getting to my dude? We'll see if we're getting to my dude. I don't think, not yet. I'm gonna skip this guy. Yeah, we're not gonna. This guy, it's not worth watching. So, just so you can see him, if you've watched this, you understand.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, he's not
Nice to
worth
meet you.
watching.
Medhi.
We're gonna skip this guy.
Cash Patel on Epstein.
He knows more information
All right,
than I do.
Pause. That's time. Please return to your seat.
Good to meet you.
I skipped two guys, but I think I definitely know that I'm to the guy I want to get to.
Surrounded is now a
and
podcast.
they were kind of boring.
Available
anyway.
wherever you listen. Search Surrounded, plug in, and stay part
Kind
of
of
the
boring.
conversation.
They were like the two
Anywhere,
most boring, probably.
anytime.
Definitely not Groypers. They didn't get them from the Groyper.
Is that Donald Trump is
cesspool.
defying the Constitution.
Here's my guy. All right, Hillary. So you don't like any definitions? I didn't give one today, but you never liked any definition of fascism that I've given. So you don't have to take my word for it. We'll let the fascists call themselves fascists.
Nice to meet
pleasure
you.
to meet you, sir.
Medhi, lovely to meet you.
So I would say that with Trump being anti-Constitution, I don't really care, to be quite frankly.
Okay.
Because in regards to the Constitution is a document that should seek to serve us.
Yes.
And when it fails to seek to serve us, that can be amended. Laws can be changed. And quite frankly, the fact is, we're defending things in this country that shouldn't be defended. The First Amendment should not defend pornography and making children and women be victimized. Making women and children be victimized as a result of that. I think things like blasphemy shouldn't be allowed per the First Amendment. I think that, quite frankly, there are a lot of legal processes that are enabling criminals and bad people to fully enact their will in this country in the name of the Constitution or following the Constitution. So, quite frankly, if Trump is anti-Constitution, good, and I think he should go further.
So this is wonderfully revealing.
All right, so I really wish William was here. I don't think I've ever seen William's face. If you guys remember William, I don't know if he's still around. Hillary's email gives me a lot of William vibes, and I know Hillary's email. You know William, raccoon boy. And I imagine if I ever saw William, he'd look like this dude, and not like in a physical description. The craziness in the eyes, like the far right, I'm in a militia craziness in the eyes, But this dude's definitely a Groyper, and in fact, he's. We'll talk about it after he's done.
Of the modern conservative mindset, so I appreciate you spelling it out so openly. Just checking, do you support the Second Amendment?
I do.
Okay, surprise, I was shocked to hear that. I'm saying that Donald Trump is defying the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. He's thinking of defying the 12th and 22nd Amendments. You're saying you don't care about the Constitution, but actually you do because you quite like the Second Amendment. You just don't like the bits that you disagree with. Can I just be clear on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm more than willing to amend it and include
whenever
the
it's in your
Second Amendment.
favor.
Yeah, absolutely.
So can Democrats
Yeah,
do the same
Freeman.
when they're in office?
No, absolutely not. Because
you don't
it's the
believe in
friend enemy.
democracy?
No, I don't. Absolutely not.
What do you believe in?
Absolutely not.
Autocracy.
By who?
Honestly, quite frankly, anyone who is in line with Catholic teaching.
Donald Trump is...
See, old boy in the pink shirt back there clapping hard at that. There does seem to be a few Catholic nationalists in here as well. This dude's definitely a Groyper, but also probably a Catholic nationalist. I don't know. I actually know a couple Catholics in real life. Just met them recently. I've kind of known a few Catholics, Catholic's the thing here in Battle Creek, but never close. But I've gotten to know a couple Catholics here recently, and they actually recently told me that a lot of people are leaving the Catholic Church, not because of all the sex scandals, or even because people are finding the Pope too liberal, the last three popes too liberal. It's more that the Catholic nationalists are taking over. and it's freaking, and so like normal people are just leaving the church altogether. Right, like these Catholic nationalists are, according to the folks that I've talked to, like just taking over the church. Now I don't know if that's on a Battle Creek level or a national level. I haven't gotten that far in the conversation with them, but interesting side note, as we are introduced, I think for the first time on this channel, to a Catholic nationalist.
Not Catholic.
Of course, he's not. I completely agree, and
so
that's part of the problem.
Trump? You don't support Trump?
No, I don't. I didn't even vote for him. I wrote in like John Pork or someone. I can't even remember.
Why did you vote if you don't believe in democracy and you want autocracy?
So this is like the Jordan Peterson Jubilee. You know, like this dude is at the wrong one, right? Like he came to the wrong one. Like you're in a conversation, or you're in a conversation that's about Trump, about Trump's MAGA, about the far right conservatives of the country, and you didn't even vote for the dude. I don't know if I believe him here. I think he probably did vote for Donald Trump, but that's beside the point. He's not claiming to.
Well, because quite frankly, I voted. I kind of voted just to.
I came with this argument, but I'm bored of my own argument. I'm much more interested in this. So
yeah, absolutely.
How do we get to an autocracy?
I think, quite frankly, that if we are able to enact local leaders,
who is the we, by the way?
I think, quite frankly, these far right conservatives sitting right around
white
me.
people.
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
So,
well, actually, I have quite.
Some of the people in this room don't make the cut from what I can see visually.
Actually, hold on for a moment. I do think that there are people who happen to not be white who do actually have history in this country and have roots in this country. For instance, from the Mexican-American War, we subsumed a lot of territory of people who have far stakes in this country who happen to be Hispanic or what have you. I'm for defending the traditional demographics of this country, which is majority white, and should stay that way.
How does the United States... I mean, we've gone so off topic, but how does the United States look like under you? Sorry, what's your name?
My name is, my name's Connor. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Took a little bit of a doubt there.
Oh, well. Now, I still haven't figured out if that's his real name or the pseudonym, but like it took him a moment there to either remember to use his pseudonym or to decide not to use the pseudonym. His pseudonym. I'm leading that Connor is his real name because of the repercussions he has suffered due to this idiocy. Like he is. I'm going to try to be nice, and I'm just going to say he's probably the dumbest person I've ever seen in my life, and I'm including myself in that scenario. Like, I'm not the brightest apple in the bunch. I've always said I'm kind of like midway down that barrel. I've talked to some really, really dumb folk. I've talked to some really, really, really smart folk. This motherfucker's stupid. like I've made some bad life decisions, but he takes the cake.
I use a pseudonym online.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
How would Connor's America look? What would it look like?
Well, quite frankly, I think we would deport people who shouldn't be here.
No, I didn't ask about deporting. What does the government look like?
What does the government look like?
Yeah.
I would say, quite frankly, it's under a sort of benevolent leader, such as
Where does he
Franco.
come from?
It could be a kind of aristocratic class. Could be someone
who picks the autocrat?
Frankly, the people. I mean, we could hold a vote on it. Kings were
isn't that democracy?
Well, sure. You can have a vote to get to that stage.
And then no more votes afterwards?
Absolutely.
Wow.
100%.
Wow. And if that autocrat kills you and your family, you're fine with that?
Well, I'm not going to be a part of the group that he kills, because that's the whole thing.
How do you know?
Carl Schmitt
Autocrats tend to kill everyone,
Carl
even their own
Schmitt
supporters.
makes this point very well in his work. It's the friend-enemy distinction, right?
Carl Schmitt, the Nazi theoretician.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care.
Are you a fan of the Nazis?
I frankly don't care being called a Nazi at all.
I didn't say that. I didn't actually say that. I said, are you a fan of the Nazis?
Well, they persecuted the church a little bit. I'm not a fan of that. But
what about the persecution of the Jews?
Well, I mean, I certainly don't support anyone's human dignity being.
I'm thinking about it. Maybe a little too early. I'm just getting back, trying to figure shit out. But I'm thinking about it. Midnight. It's definitely like I've got an hour and a half till I'm technically should start thinking about going to sleep. Which is like 6 o'clock my time. I'm thinking about it, though. It's been a while. I don't know if I want to argue with somebody today. We are going to be eating dinner soon. So I'm thinking about it. Maybe. Maybe not. But it will happen soon. It will happen. But I'm thinking about maybe today. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm a Catholic.
But you don't condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews?
I think that there was a little bit of persecution.
Yeah, brown shirt for real.
Rename this show because you're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
Hey, what can I say?
I think you could say I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am.
The fucking insane laugh, right? I think the insane laugh is why that moment went viral more than the "I'm a fascist" part. Honestly, if I'm gonna be like completely honest about it. But yeah, like that's the cray-cray. Like, I mean, so you don't have to take my word. I almost called you William, Hillary. William Clone. You don't have to take my word. You don't have to trust my definitions. You know, they're saying it now. You know, you can say it now if you want. But I have to warn you, it's a very bad life decision, as Mr. Connor here, has found out, because he's recently been on his Instagram, and his Instagram, I have to mention, is followed by some like congressmen in Texas, a couple like, you know, real Republican politicians. I think something like 80,000 followers. I think I could be wrong about that. Definitely a groiper, a well-known groiper. If you don't know what that is a stan of Nick Fuentes, known Nazi, proud Nazi. So he found out the hard way that, you know, you really can't say that shit yet. I mean, we're not quite there in Trump's America yet, because he lost his job and he's begging for money. Begging for money. Oh yeah, thank you, Smokey, thank you. Still got about, I don't know. I said, you know, if I lose like 20 more pounds, I'm like high school weight. Although at 47, it still like includes like a bit of a belly. It's found that getting rid of the belly completely has proven to be difficult, but we're getting there. We are getting there.
Just to get my set of where everyone is on this. Because you know that millions of people are going to be watching you on YouTube and checking out who the fascists and the Nazis are.
I'm not ashamed of that whatsoever.
No, clearly you're not.
All right, let's go back, because the other important part of that, like, he's not the only fascist there. Like, several people clapped. You know, several people clapped. So that's why I say, like, this was, you know, 24 right extremists. You know, I'm not saying every Trump supporter is this, and I don't think anybody's saying that, you know. But what's scary is a lot of these sentiments I see, at least here in Battle Creek, is like Trump country, Michigan. I see a lot of these sentiments here in the youth that I work with or that I'm around in my job. So I don't know. It's been something that I've noticed. You know, this like disdain of democracy, but now it's like, yeah, they're coming out and they're just starting to say it now. Like, yeah, I'm a fascist. Like, they're proud of it, and that's, I think, should be a wake up call to Republicans. Like, hey, you guys, like we were telling you 20 years ago, with the Tea Party shit, like, you're taking it too far. You're gonna become a party of fucking Nazis, and it's went to like, you're a party of fucking Nazis. I mean, Stephen Miller, it's undeniable that Stephen Miller is a fucking Nazi. And now you're also a party that vindicates, protects, coddles, and covers up for pedophiles. So, like, you guys have just need to really rein your shit in, like, for real. Fascism and pedophiles, not a great look.
War period prior to World War II, it was only those parties that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go back. We're gonna listen to that again. We're gonna go back quite a bit to the build up of it.
Condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews.
I think that there was a little bit of persecution and stuff like that, which is bad. We may have to rename the show
because you're a little bit more than a far right Republican.
Hey, what can I say?
I think you can say I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am. Absolutely.
I'm just checking who's clapping just to get my set of where everyone is on this.
Yeah, that was like half of them. Like 10 people there are fucking Nazis. You know, and that's fucking scary, bro. Like how did Jubilee not know that shit? That's what I was like. They like literally recruited from Nick Fuentes', you know, chat room. I don't. That's like the only way to describe it.
You know that millions of people are going to be watching you on YouTube and checking out who the fascists and the Nazis are.
I'm not ashamed of that whatsoever.
No, clearly you're not.
During the pre-war period prior to World War II, it was only those parties that properly enacted the people's will. That's why they won. The conservatives were fat cats. They were aristocrats.
Are you in favor of killing people who aren't like you?
Quite frankly, I'm not. If
you mentioned Franco earlier. Franco killed a lot of innocent people.
Oh, well, he killed communists. He killed people who raped nuns and killed priests.
What about children who he killed?
He killed communists. Like, well, those are still people. Did those communists commit crimes? And are the communists the ones that raped nuns and killed priests? Of course, you know, I haven't done an in-depth study of Franco. I've read a little bit about him. But it would definitely require me to really get some facts on him. But I can almost bet it didn't go how Nazi Boy here is saying it went.
Women who he killed.
What are you talking about? He never killed.
I think I'm going to trust
he only killed combatants.
Medhi here.
Yeah, he only killed combatants.
He never killed any innocent.
Franco and his forces killed or executed 150,000 people. That included members of the Catholic clergy who were deemed either liberal or loyal to the Spanish Republic.
The White Terror was
not all
only
communists.
punishing those people who did acts of terrorism. And again, are you supporting like raping innocent women? Nuns.
Oh yeah,
dude.
definitely.
Killing
Puff.
priests? I mean, priests.
Definitely. Like Elon's a Nazi for sure. Like I'm suspect of anybody that's going to join his third party for sure. And like, how the fuck is Elon not on the list? Like, I can almost guarantee Elon is on the list. And speaking of the list, you know, I'm not saying anything. I've always really appreciated and been vocal about how my idol Stephen King has my politics, and I'm still very appreciative of that. But he has recently come out and like equated the Epstein list to like the fairy, the tooth fairy and shit. And it's at this point, you know, like, because I talked about this a little bit on Facebook. I've always been kind of agnostic to like the pedophile ring, and that's including like the Corey's testimony. And I was, you know, I'm aware of the Corey's testimony. If you don't know who the Coreys are like, you know, the famous Coreys of the 80s and 90s, the movie stars Corey Feldman and Corey Haim went batshit crazy and have openly talked about abuse in this circle of very, very powerful, rich men that abused them. Some in the Hollywood industry, but they said that there was a lot of people and that this was a very sophisticated pedophile ring. But even despite being aware of that, I was still very agnostic on the whole Epstein list thing. You know, the whole, you know, like this being like this big, this pedophile thing, but I wasn't really aware of the court transcripts. And I should be, because like it really is like a no-brainer if you actually read the court transcripts that we have so far, and just based on what's been said about it. And I don't know, like at this point, after how Trump has treated it, I'm definitely not agnostic on it anymore. I think any pedophile should be fucking prosecuted. I don't give a fuck who the fuck they are. And there's no moral justification for not releasing that information to every authority figure that you can. There's just no moral justification to it whatsoever. The only justification to it is we live in a very crooked, crony capitalist system to where billionaires have become oligarch kings and you cannot fucking touch them. And if that's the truth, we need to start talking about it. Rant over.
Brandish guns and kill
people? You just
people?
refuse to condemn the Nazi Holocaust, my friend. I don't think you're in a position to ask anyone any questions.
I quite frankly don't care what you think about me. If I'm a Nazi and being a Nazi,
is mutual,
if being a Nazi means upholding human dignity, because I even believe in your dignity. I don't. In a state that I was running, I wouldn't want to hurt you or anything like that. But quite frankly,
I don't debate fascists.
Okay, and the whole point of that rant was like, Stephen King is kind of suspect now. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. Like, you've been like the king of horror for like 2 decades. You're my idol, and I love you, man. Unless you're a fucking pedophile.
Okay. So do you concede then? I mean, why
do I concede you're a fascist who won't condemn the Nazis?
Yeah.
Yes, I concede that.
Okay, great. So I mean, what are we doing here? Because I mean, you just seem offended.
What you're doing here,
you just seem offended, to be quite frankly. Like,
I'm offended by people who can't condemn the Nazis. Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, I condemn the evils that they did, but I don't really care about
Jews?
being. Yeah, sure. I don't care about being called a Nazi.
Sure.
Is the whole thing.
I never called you a Nazi.
I care
you
about
called
doing
yourself
the right
a Nazi,
thing.
a fascist, and a General Franco supporter.
Well, yeah, I am a General Franco supporter. He was awesome. He was so super cool, quite frankly. Because the whole
and
thing.
you don't believe in democracy.
I don't believe in democracy.
What are you doing here at a televised debate?
Because,
this is democracy. Not what a debate and disagreement.
Because it is the means.
Oh, trust me, Lo. The scene in It is child's play when it comes to Stephen King. You know, like, people make a big issue of that, and it is a little racy. If you actually read it, it's not that bad. It just doesn't really make sense in the like plot of the story. Like, it makes no sense. But but like when it comes to Stevie, he's written way worse. Way worse.
To support an end. The reason we have free speech now is because we want to be openly talking about our opinions so we can get the state that we want. But it doesn't mean upholding free speech after we win. Again, I mentioned
the only good thing about this fascist moment we're in is that you guys are so open about it.
The whole reason I mentioned
quiet part loud.
the whole reason I mentioned Carl Schmitt earlier, and you kind of blew past him, is the friend-enemy distinction. Even liberals, when they take power, they want to enact policies.
And this is where like Medhi shuts it down with the dude.
Protections
where you should.
And their ideas, and they're willing to punish their enemies.
You know, the idea of autocracy on the right is it's not a new thing, right? But like to spell it out like this dude has is kind of eye-opening, and you know, I think that's been a suspicion of us on the left, and that's including like the moderate left, the liberals, that a lot of this free speech jargon that they spew out of the left side of their neck is just it's nonsense to begin with, but it's nonsense they don't really believe in. And he expressed it pretty openly here that they want to utilize free speech until they can take it away for everybody else. And that's always been a suspicion, I think, of us, because I mean, Republicans have always, before Trump, have always been just so blatant about what they really think free speech means. Is we should be allowed to be racist, and you shouldn't be allowed to have any opinions at all. And that's fucking stupid.
And so I'm the same way. I'm like, hey, if you're going to punish me, I'm going to get in power, and I'm going to frankly punish you when you try to leverage power against me. Just that simple. Hey, it is what it is.
All right. Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seats.
This is the worst part for Medhi, I think. He has to shake this dude's hand. And he has to, like, that's probably got to be the worst part with him for several of these people, because several of them, like the dude earlier got a bit racist. Like, several of them are going to get quite racist with Medhi here. And he's got to, and he's going to be graceful enough to shake their hand, but that's got to be hard. That's going to be, I probably, like, especially with the fascists, I don't think I could have done it. But props to him for being able to, because he didn't want to.
Thank you.
You can just see the disgust on his face.
Apartments.com gives land.
I honestly think that like most of that disgust isn't even really for the fascists. Fascist people are what they are is for how many people applauded it. I think that's what the source of like most of that disgust is coming from. I probably would have lost my shit. Y'all know me. Like, even sober rage would probably go on a hissy fit well before we even got to this point. I don't think this dude is too interesting. I really want to get to the Iranian dude. Although this guy he's another groiper, I think. But he had some pretty good. I do need to end this before too long. And I'm still thinking, I don't even know, like, where is dude live at? I might, like, throw me a link. I might come sit in the side chat and think about it. We're going to cover one more dude. Two more dudes. All right. Two more dudes. Pink shirt boy. It's like, and I think for me, this is probably, I don't know, like the scariest part of this, like the true scary, like most of this, like these people are just fucking idiots. And this dude is definitely a fucking idiot. But it's scary because, like, this is the white dude that I grew up with. And I thought, like, America was beyond that. I had hoped. Like, I remember sitting in my car way back. Like, my daughter was still in, like, grade school, like, early grade school. I think first grade. And I was sitting in my car waiting for her to get out of school. And I was sitting there, and on the sidewalk, there was literally, and I think I've talked about this before on the channel, and I definitely put the picture that I took on my Facebook way back in the day. But there was these three little girls walking on the sidewalk, and they had to be kindergartners, getting out a little bit earlier than the rest of the school. And one was an Asian girl, one was a black girl, and one was a white girl. And they were all three holding hands at the end of the school day. And I took a picture of that, and I was like, and I put it on my Facebook, and I'm like, man, we are really coming a long way in this country. And this was like a slap in the face to me, because this is like a complete reversal of that. This is like me going back to high school with all of the rich white boys that would become frat boys in Davie County, North Carolina. This got to me here.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Medhi.
What's going on, man? Nice to meet you. All right, so first, before I start, I need to know what you mean by good. I can talk about the economy, I can talk about culture, I can talk about all those things. I need to know what you mean.
All of them.
All of them.
I'm saying immigrants are good for the economy. They're good for
You think
culture.
lower wages are
They're
good for the
for
economy?
society. Where's the lower wages?
What do you mean, where's the lower wages?
Where are the lower wages?
Yeah, so you can
What's
look
the
at
basis for saying?
Like right off the bat, like if you let's rewind this just a little bit, and I want you guys to look at that. Like this dude is seething with rage. He is angry at Medhi for some fucking unknown reason. Like you just had a dude talking about being a fascist. He was definitely one of the ones that was clapping, and I think that you're gonna really get the reason for his rage. But I want you to look at his lips quivering. He is enraged, and I was for a long time. I got to rebrand the raging atheist. I know a little something about rage, about fucking just being fucking mad, right? This dude is angry, and I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but at the first time I watched it, I'm like, why is this dude so fucking angry at Medhi? And you're gonna figure it out pretty quick.
First, before I start, I need to know what you mean by good. I can talk about the economy, I can talk about culture, I can talk about all those things. I need to know what you mean.
All of them.
All of
I missed it. Let's go back to the very beginning when he first sits down and looks at Medhi.
My name's Todd Prather.
Of course, I'm gonna get that. Right? Of course, I'm gonna get that. The first time when he sits down and he looks at Medhi, look at his lips and how they're quivering. Dude is fucking angry. The dude is mad.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Medhi.
What's going on, man? Nice to meet you. All right, so first, before I start, I need to know what you mean by good. I can talk about the economy, I can talk about culture, I can talk about all those things. I need to know what you mean.
All of them.
All of them.
I'm saying immigrants are good for the economy. They're good for
You think
culture.
lower wages are
They're
good for the economy?
society.
So
Where's the
angry.
lower wages?
What do you mean, where's
You
the
see
lower
it
wages?
again,
Where's
the
the
little
lower wages?
twitch.
Yeah, so you can
What's
look
the
at
basis for saying no low wages?
Sure, so you can look at like the STEM industry. It's been in like a complete and total recession. There's been tons of studies like from the
Like the
economic
way
policy-
his face is twitching. That like when you're about to fight somebody, you're so angry, you're about to punch somebody, you'll get that twitch in your face.
Policy Institute that shows that like companies like Tesla,
He's
companies
hyped
like
up. He's not gonna
Valley,
punch Medhi,
they
but he's
did
amped.
mass firing of workers, around 35,000, but then they hired around 12,000 H-1B visas, and it's kind of just standard economic thinking. If you
It's not standard economic thinking. The vast majority of economists and economic studies suggest that there is a negligible, if no impact on wages over time
That's not-
from
that's just-
immigrants.
that's
In
just
fact, your colleague mentioned earlier, construction, there is actually evidence in construction, yes. But in some industries, in some areas, there is an impact. But overall, no. In fact, a study from the National Bureau of Economic Research found that migrants since 1965 have raised wages
Who's that
and
by?
raised innovation.
Who's that by?
productivity. National Bureau for Economic Research.
No, hold on. That's where you publish studies. I'm asking
Yes,
for
I
the
didn't
author.
memorize the names of the authors.
Yeah, I know you didn't. Right?
Can you
It's
give
from-
me the authors you've got?
Yeah, hold on. The study you're talking about is from Giovanni Perry, and what he did is he didn't account for aggregation issues, nor did
The
he.
vast majority of
Hold on,
studies.
let me speak,
Please.
Yeah, thank you. Right. So listen, he
Let
didn't
me
account for
speak.
aggregation issues, right? And when you look at like the spatial approach, was what all these economists use.
Like, dude, you're going 90 miles a minute. For one, you got to let Medhi respond, and that's the bad thing about these fucking vapes. They hit hard. You got to let Medhi respond. And how's he ever going to remember all of your fucking points? I don't remember any of them, honestly.
You're not accounting for the fact that when immigrants come into an area, natives leave. If you look at an occupational approach where you look at the specific firms that immigration's going into, like Kim, ETAL 2013 did, you find a net negative impact.
Like, dude has been going down some deep ass wormholes on the internet, and it's really pissed him off.
When there's a
But you'll get the gist of why he's mad rather quickly.
10% increase of immigration, you find around a 0.5% decline in wages when it comes to the specific occupations they're going to.
So
all your studies are flawed.
So 0.5%.
All your studies are flawed.
Weigh that up against what I just mentioned from the Congressional Budget Office, which is a massive boost.
Yeah, he's like arguing for 0.5% wage deduction for quote unquote Native Americans. You know, like have you guys ever seen Gangs of New York? Like these, like Republicans are literally taking it back to like the early 1900s, and what was his name, Bill the Butcher, and his natives. beating up Irish people coming off the boats. Like they've regressed to that. Like that's the regression that we see in this country. And like I said, this is a complete regression to my childhood. This is that white boy racist that hates brown people so much, like he's angry at them. And I knew so many of them growing up. So many of them.
In GDP per head, which you're not counting for. Massive increase in tax revenue. Immigrants actually funding the deficits and debts by paying way more in taxes proportionately into the undocumented immigrants. And what's interesting about wages is I'm in a room full of, I don't know what to call you anymore.
Maybe it's steroids. Maybe he's just amped up on some roids.
One of you has probably said that. One of us
and maybe you're right, Puff. Maybe his balls are shrunk.
I'm in a room full of correct people, but do any of you actually care about wages? Because
I actually do,
for example, do you
all
support raising
stem,
the
no
minimum wage?
boulder.
Absolutely, and you can't do that when you're bringing all these people coming into
that's
a
not
country.
the reason the Republican Party blocks the minimum wage. You think Republican politicians don't vote for an increase in minimum wage because they're worried about immigration?
Did I say I voted Republican? Did I say I voted Republican?
Well, I'm in a show that was called 25 Far-Right Republicans.
That doesn't mean I'm going to support every single Republican candidate.
Like, dude, you're wearing a Texas hat, and you're like definitely in love with the Republican immigration policy right now. And I do have to remind you, like I've said this before. I don't think I've ever showed it on my channel, and I really should. I just copyright shit, but I don't have to worry about that anymore. We should really check out like the scene in American History X when dude is like, it's all in black and white and they're about to run into the store and he's giving his immigration speech about how they're taking over. Like that's like the modern American Republican. Back in the 90s, it was like neo-Nazis. And it's a shame that they can't recognize it in themselves. But they're starting to wake up to it. They're openly, some at least are openly admitting it now.
So you and I, good. So you and I, let's agree. We both support raising the minimum wage. Yes,
100%.
$7.25 since 2009. It's lost 30% of its value. If you care about wages, we should be raising the minimum wage in this country, not scapegoating migrants who aren't the cause of low wages in the country. You know who's causing low wages? Billionaires, millionaires, and people who won't pay
Medi's
fair
destroying
wages to their
you, bro.
wages, regardless of whether you are an immigrant or a native-born
I get the
American.
monologue right now. Let me respond.
You had one. You had one with your one study that had a 0.5% impact. Go.
Yeah, and your study sucked that you didn't even know who wrote it, right? So let's get back to the point,
because I don't need
and
to
there
know
it
one
goes
study.
again.
The majority of studies say that wages are not impacted by
the majority of your
migration over
studies
time.
are flawed. That's what I'm telling you.
Not my studies.
Right.
Neither of us are economists. It's
Texas
the
boy
economists.
knows
Don't
that they're
assume who I
flawed.
am.
Are you an economist?
I could be.
But
anybody that's here at this point or going to be watching this, or hopefully I can start actually doing this thing right, and we'll get more people watching the conversations we're having. Is going to understand. I lost my train of thought. Man.
I could be.
Are you?
I'm not going to tell.
What was I going to fucking say? I don't know. I lost it. Still happens. Not as much as it used to, though. I don't think. I don't know. I might be misremembering all the times I misremembered.
Are you?
I'm going to major in economics, right?
Are you an economist?
No, not right now.
Okay, so when I said neither is economist, I was correct.
Just don't assume.
To use your favorite word.
See here, dude, this is nothing of substance.
I'm pretty
Look at
high
the
now.
red
This is
flags
like all I
coming up.
smoke.
Let me get
That's
to the
great,
point.
but
So
you're
when
not
you
an
talk about
economist.
when you talk about the CBO, one thing you're not accounting for here is that they're assuming an equilibrium, right? Do you know what that means? You shouldn't make these type of assumptions. You said earlier.
Oh yeah, like he's trying to say everything is flawed. Like, dude, like how the fuck do you? Like we've all heard this shit before, like from praise and what's I can't remember people's names anymore. The Donnie kid that talks about evolution. What's his fucking name? God, I can't remember names anymore. I've been so disconnected for like a year and a half. Man. How can I not remember somebody I talked to? Oh, I was probably drunk. You guys know who the fuck I'm talking about. It used to be SpongeBob. What the fuck? Donnie. I don't want to say his whole name, but he probably uses it all now. I don't know. It's been a while. What's that? Evolution. That dude that hates evolution. SFT. Yes. Standing for truth. Thank you. Standing for truth. Those were the days. I don't even think about drinking anymore. What I need to really do is stop drinking pop now. Like, if I want to lose another 20 pounds, I need to stop drinking this bullshit. I found that to be, like, harder than, like, switching to a vape. Like, quitting pop has been really fucking difficult.
Earlier that unemployment
Do I
was
know
like
what it means? I thought we were not doing assumptions.
Okay, hold on. You mentioned we were like at like 4.2% unemployment. Yeah, that's counting people who have part-time jobs. That's counting
That's how
poverty
it's always
wages.
been counted.
Yeah,
I'm against poverty wages. Can we
won't let
agree
me
again?
Yes. If you go to like the Logood Institute, they calculated a way where it's like functional unemployment. Okay.
Like, he's still
if you account
fucking
for
angry.
Things like just people who make.
You guys, if you've seen this, you know it's coming. You know, like, he can only hold the racist end so fucking long.
Around $25,000 a year, people who have fallen out of the labor market, people who only work part-time. If you count all of those people together and then add on the unemployment, that's around 25% of the population. So when you go, we don't have jobs, we don't have people to do this, and that, and the other. No, yes, we do. Okay, we don't have a labor shortage. We have a good job shortage. And when you keep bringing these people in, and they're taking those jobs.
The good job shortage is the fault of big firms, employers. I'm an employer. I can say
Who hires
that.
the immigrants?
Who hires the immigrants?
Yeah.
Employers.
Exactly. So
But
when you bring up these big firms,
okay, so
that's the
let me
way
ask
they
you.
keep
Let me
wages
ask
down.
you.
Oh, wow, the cognitive dissonance. So, like, why aren't we going after them? You know, like, the migrants aren't the problem. If there's a problem at all, it would be the people that are breaking the law and hiring them, right? Like, why aren't we going after them? Like, all of this stupid bullshit is flawed. Like, even now, like, there's a recent poll, like, the majority of Republicans now, because Trump has just been so disastrous with his execution of this. Like, we like, you can't be fucking American, an honest fucking American, and say that an armed military Gestapo, masked, not wearing badges, abducting people from schools and Walmarts and soccer fields, like that's fucking okay, right? Like, Republicans in this recent poll, the majority of Republicans are for, like, immigration reform, you know, like massive immigration reform, not for this bullshit that's been happening with the taking away of liberty and justice for all. Like Republicans forgot they were supposed to be the party of the Constitution, but as we have heard repeatedly through this entire thing, like, they just don't give a fuck anymore. You know, it's been gloves on, now it's gloves off with the fucking fascist bullshit. And that's a fight we need to be aware that we're fighting. Like, I there's only a couple true Democrats in the party right now that's actually fighting that fight. And it's really disturbing. It makes me, like, wonder, like, are they in on it? Like, are you just willing to give away democracy so you can keep power until they lock you up? Like, what the fuck is going on with these people? But that's in, like, a whole other discussion and stream. This is about the far right. But there's a lot of shit we need to do on the left. And like, the first thing we should do is, like, just stop fucking with the Democratic Party. You know, like, you know, I'm not talking let's go to Elon. I'm saying, like, we need to create our own thing, and we should have done it a long time ago so we could be established by now, because we're going nowhere, and we need to fight the real fight. And I just don't. I mean, I'm sure you guys have been fighting it here online. But I don't really see anybody on outside of, like, Bernie and AOC that's really fighting that fight, at least loud enough for me to hear it, to break through, because I have been disconnected, but I, like, the politics do break through.
You understand that, right?
So let me ask you a question. If you got rid of all immigrants coming in tomorrow, moratorium, you think that Republicans and employers of big firms would suddenly raise all the wages?
You notice
That's
how
what
you
you
didn't answer
believe.
what I said. You
That's
notice
what
how
you
it
believe.
was a complete. Are your ankles
That's what
all
you
right?
believe.
You pivoted the hell
That's what
away
you
from the
believe.
conversation.
Is that what you? I'm on
Are
the
your
subject.
ankles okay?
Do you believe that wages? I'm just wondering how naive you are. You believe that the 1% will raise wages in the federal wage
They will
if
be
we
forced
stop
to.
immigration?
They will be forced to. When you increase labor's relationship to capital, okay, and you give labor more bargaining power because you're
But
tightening
this
the
is a
supply
very
of
simplistic
labor.
understanding of economics, because you're
Okay,
not,
explain I'm wrong.
I'm telling you how you're wrong.
I'm here.
Because you're ignoring the fact that when immigrants come into an area, they spend money. They create jobs through their
About
presence.
1/5 of their monthly income leaves the country.
That's a good thing also, because you don't like US aid, foreign aid. So this is the point. They create
Don't
jobs.
assume that.
into
Medi's
this
so
country.
smooth with his
So
responses.
far, every one of my assumptions about you.
I
has been
wish
correct.
I was, like,
But listen
half
to
the
me.
debater.
I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from
He
first
is.
experience.
I've always thought that, and, like, he's literally written a book on winning debates. You know, but he has his facts, and, you know, I'm a stoner, so short-term memory. I've got to have him, like, right in front of me, really, to really dig in. But he's always got them, like, one-liners prepared, right? Like, just for the right moment.
I don't even like. I should get the hell out.
Yes.
Why?
I don't want you here.
Right.
Why?
Because you come here and say all this.
Yeah, we got to the racist part. So the racist could only hold it in for so long. It's like a case study of my childhood right here. even myself right up till about 16, because I completely bought into the bullshit.
And you give labor more bargaining power because you're tightening the supply of
South will
labor.
rise again.
Okay, explain I'm wrong.
I'm telling you how you're wrong. Because you're ignoring the fact that when immigrants come into an area, they spend money. They create jobs through their presence.
1/5 of their monthly income leaves the country.
That's a good thing also because you don't like US aid, foreign aid. So this is the point. They create jobs. I came into this country. So far, every one of my assumptions about you has been correct. But listen to me. I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal experience.
Get the hell out.
I don't even like... I should get the hell out.
Yes.
Why?
I don't want you here.
Why?
Because you come here and say all this bullshit
Why?
about how Americans are lazy.
Why?
You push your left-wing
I never
politics.
said Americans are lazy.
I don't know why you say this.
I never said Americans are
yes,
lazy.
you are.
The only person
You're saying
attacking
immigrants
people
have
is
to
you.
come into this country so they can do jobs that we don't want to do.
I
That's
never said
exactly
those
what
words.
you said.
When did I say it?
Oh, really? You
When did
didn't
I
say
say
that?
it?
So
We're
why
on
don't we-
YouTube. Guys watching on YouTube, rewind to the time where I said immigrants are doing jobs we don't want to do. When did I say those words? Words
You
that
said-
came out of my mouth.
Okay, so why do we have to bring in immigrants? Why do we have to bring in immigrants to the country if we have people who are going to do the jobs?
Pause. You've been voted out.
It's nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you.
No, and he's gonna say, Medhi's gonna tell you what he says. You can kind of hear it as he's walking away. They just don't understand. Like, if they were to like really enact this plan of getting rid of 10 million illegal immigrants, and let's be real. It's not going to be just illegal immigrants. It's not going to be just immigrants. It's not going to be just brown people. We're too like Rosie O'Donnell now, you know, like, but there's been American citizens already arrested. We don't know how many because they don't have due process, but we know that there has been. But it like just say that they try to enact that false plan that they had. They're going to get rid of 11 million illegal immigrants, whatever the number is. Right, like that would devastate the American economy, which would devastate the world economy, which would pretty much ruin capitalism on a world scale. Like I should kind of be for it, but I'm just too humanist for it. Right, like they're literally going to destroy all of the world's economy, but they're not going to do that. This is all just a mechanism for enforcing the fascism, right? Like this is just the initial excuse. This is why like these people are just such fucking idiots, because they should understand history and they should understand what the fuck is going on. You don't build up a Gestapo for no fucking reason, and you don't give them just like unlimited fucking authority for no fucking reason. And they don't just stop at the people they begin with. They never fucking do. But they don't understand that because they're fucking stupid. All right, I want to see. We're going to go to the Iran dude. He's next. So, and then after that, I'm probably going to call it quits. I never did see like a link. I don't know William's channel. I'll probably come over there, check out the side chat. It's 5 o'clock. I doubt I'm going to come in, but maybe. But I want to do this last dude. Or it's not the last dude. Like you should totally check it out. I did put the link to Jubilee in the description.
Nice talking
easy
to
to find regardless.
You're gonna have to go, bro.
And I'm not like a really huge fan of this format. Like, you need to go, bro, is what he said. You know, so like full racist. But I'm not like a huge fan of the. I was fascinated with the Jordan Peterson thing, just mainly because it was like Danny. Danny had his moment, which was a pretty good moment, I thought. A good raging moment, I thought. But outside of that, I just don't really like this format. Like 20 people against one seems outrageous. But the one actually usually holds most of the power in the conversation.
Is what he said as I left to an American citizen. Good to know where you stand on immigration. It's not about immigration, is it? That's what it's not about.
Roku Ads Manager puts Roku's reach within your reach. Sign up at ads.
Of course. One more dude. Fucking ads. I hate them. I don't usually hate anything, and I'm being a bad Taoist. I should feel no emotion towards ads, but I hate them.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, so I should say, like, this shouldn't be disturbing. From what I do know, I know this is disturbing. It's very disturbing, but it shouldn't come as a shock. From what I know of the dude, he is from Iran. He ran away from Iran. He has very deep emotional feelings about Iran, and as you will see, but disturbing nonetheless.
Good to see you. How are you?
Not bad. So, What type of...
And I only want to finish on this. I only want to include this because I've seen this in my conversations as the raging atheist a couple times. People defending the undefendable, or rationalizing the rationalizable. If that's a fucking word. It's probably not. No, I know it's not. But you know, like, just even now we see it with people that are trying their hardest. People that have like talked about the Epstein list forever, trying their hardest to wrap their minds and their words around not needing that list anymore. You know, like you're seeing that play out now. But I've seen this a couple times in conversations I've had online here, and it's always disturbing when people defend what should be undefendable. It should be an easy answer. And sadly, I think that this is a problem that liberals who are supporting the Zionists have, is that they have to defend the undefendable. Like to see like liberals that I thought were rational people defending genocide is very disturbing. It's as disturbing as this fucking stream here. You know, it's as disturbing as this, you know, as this extremism is. Like the liberals, the so-called moderates, supporting and rationalizing and justifying genocide makes no fucking rational sense to me.
Immigrants are we talking about?
I have to assume that it's mainly a money thing, and the people, the liberals that are actually supporting it in real life, are either Christian and have like religious reasons for it, or they're buying into the bullshit that the people that are getting paid by, you know, the Israeli government are giving them.
What do you mean?
Like any immigrants or
immigrants? That's what I said. Immigrants
are illegal
overall.
immigrants.
Undocumented immigrants also contribute
Illegal.
greatly to the U.S. I say undocumented. I don't think people are illegal.
So, let's put it this way. I mean, I'm an immigrant too, from Iran.
Okay.
There isn't even
How
a
do you
U.S.
feel about the fact that people here want you out? Are you okay with that?
I'm here to debate you, not debate them.
I mean, you're all on the same side. You're part of one group.
No.
You've been clapping each other.
No, I mean, there are conservatives here, there are far-right people here, there are Republicans
But how do
here.
you feel about that guy wanting me and you to leave?
But, you know, let's
I'm just
stick-
wondering. Wait, this is the topic of immigration.
It's not
how
about
do you feel about the guy?
It's not about my feelings towards them.
Okay.
It's about staying on this topic.
Okay.
And
Immigrants
talk
are good for America, yeah. You and me, we're good for America. And the guy over there wants us to leave. So I'm just wondering how you feel about that.
So I believe that there has to be strict immigration laws.
Okay.
We have to make sure that the people are coming here have the good intent of the United States in mind.
That's not my claim, but okay.
So
my claim is about immigrants are net
if,
positive.
If we just open our borders to every single person
No one
that wants
calls
to
for
be
open
here,
borders.
you know, that claims that they have economical hardship in their country.
Who's calling for open borders?
No, I'm just saying, you know.
I mean, it's a straw man, so you're just saying a straw man.
No, I'm saying
You're
that
wasting
if
time with a straw man. No one's calling for open borders. I didn't call for open
well,
borders.
you wasted
I said
time.
immigrants who...
You wasted time trying to cause division between me and my friends
Division?
over
He
here.
wants you to leave the country. That's a pretty big deal.
All right.
I mean, you can ignore
Like
it,
you
but
said,
that's your side, my friend.
Like I said,
You
you were
made
the
your
one
bet.
that tried to derail this argument.
Derail?
By bringing that.
It's
Even
literally
though we're
core to my
trying
argument. I'm saying immigrants are good to America. People on your
And
side
I
are
asked
saying
you, what
we
type
should
of-
leave. Not me,
And,
me and
I
you.
asked you, what type of immigrants are we talking about? Are we
Immigrants
talking about
overall.
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 So
I mean,
so
we're not going to...
So
you want to get
believe,
into, you want me to get into like particular communities? I'm not playing that
So
game.
you believe that people that come here without
Overall,
any
help
respect,
the society.
without any respect to our laws and our border,
No,
you know, are going to be good for this country?
No, of course not.
So you can't say that all immigrants overall.
I never said all immigrants.
Well,
I said
you
immigrants overall. Immigrants overall doesn't mean all immigrants. Sorry to break that to you.
All right, so we have to make sure that the people are coming here have the good intent of this country in mind. Agreed?
Yes.
All right,
Irrelevant
good.
to my claim,
But
but
when you
agreed.
have undocumented immigration going
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
you can't vet that. You can't make sure about that. Let me real quick, you know, talk about my background. There is no the American embassy in Iran. So in order to come here, you have to stay in line for 4 years, and you have to go through some serious vetting procedure to get here. But I made it. And that process has to be in place because, I mean, you don't want terrorists
But I'm
to fill this country.
I made it too. I'm an American citizen. I went through lots of vetting. I took my test.
And that's how
But the guy
it
over
should
there
be.
wants us to leave.
But
he wants us to leave.
When people
so people don't really care about vetting, do they?
But
it's not really about vetting, is it, my
but
friend?
people should not have
You're
the
in denial.
right. People should not have the right to ignore our borders and our laws.
What about those
to
of us who
come here.
don't ignore the borders? Should we get to stay?
Of course.
But he says we shouldn't.
Well, I'm not debating him.
You kind of are because you're all together on this.
No, I'm debating you.
Okay. And I'm pointing out to you that your argument is in bad faith because these guys are actually speaking the truth and you're in denial about who's on your side. He wants you gone.
Like I never claimed that I'm on their side or they're on my side. I'm here to debate you.
All right, pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please
Thank
return
you,
to your
Medhi.
seat.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I mean, I just let it play, and gosh damn.
You can choose to raid the caravan.
I thought I'd done that. All right, I like I said, I've come across it a few times. I think praise was one of them. Defended murdering children. I think he told me if God says it's okay, then it's okay. Might not have been praise, but I'm pretty sure it was. A couple others, and it's just like when you hear, and I've heard, like liberals like that I usually think are fairly rational when it comes to issues of war. Pretty much defend, or at least deny reality when it comes to the issue. Like yeah, they target kids, and you're cool with that. And he just comes out and says it. Yeah, fuck. They're just gonna grow up to be terrorists. It's like, I don't know, like, I know, like, humanity's never really had a humanity, I know, I understand that. Maybe it's just I'm a very hopeful person. I've always been kind of this dreamer dude. I think like, if I was being described in a book, I'm that hopeless romantic, that dreamer, But I wanted to I wanted to think we were starting to get some, and it's like we've lost whatever I don't know, ounce of humanity we've had. Like I can't say I'm a big fan of Iran, the atrocities they commit socially to their people, but I don't think any human being deserves to just be killed randomly because ideology or whatever, just for I think human life should mean something, like we should see that we're all relatives in some small way. That's maybe I was just lucky. I was introduced to that Native American shit pretty early. I left, and it did kind of stick with me, this idea that we're all relatives, and I think how can you not see it? Like, maybe I can get it if you're like an evolution denier and you've completely bought into that bullshit, but we all come from that same initial tribe or tribes of humans, and when it comes to Homo sapiens, as far as I know, that was right in, I think it's Nigeria now in Africa. Like in a very different climate. Now, when it comes to humans, we've been around for much longer than that. But Homo sapien humans, we've been around for about 80, 90,000 years now. We all come from them same initial tribes. We're and we've destroyed the planet. We're destroying ourselves. And, like I was hoping there for a moment that we were starting to wake up. But the backlash to that hope is what we've seen. The first cycle with Donald Trump, like that Joyner Lucas song with, Am I Racist? I think it's called, where he's talking about something about Trump being payback for Obama. And that was true. It was backlash for that era of hope, that somehow, like, we were starting to find that trickle of humanity, because we've completely lost it now. Whatever grace we were starting to gain from our initial sins as a nation, with civil rights, and then the women's movement, and then finally achieving gay marriage, and starting to really give civil rights to the most marginalized parts of the country. This backlash we're seeing, this surge in the fascism, is frightening and world changing. And yeah, we've got to start calling it for what it is. It doesn't really matter the optics of it at this point. There can really be no doubt. I don't really like even calling them Republicans anymore. They're fascist, and at this point, they cover up for pedophiles. So buckle up, buttercups. It's gonna be a long ride. Maybe one of the reasons why I came back, so we can talk about it. All right, I got to change all my branding. It feels weird having the Raging Atheist up there. Like, eventually I'll start talking a little bit about, I don't know, Taoism and philosophical Buddhism and, no deity, spiritual walks, path, walk. I like to call it a spiritual walk. More of a, I don't know, I would call it like a finding of my heritage, but I would have to include the Irish and the Scottish in that, and I'm not really interested in becoming a Catholic. So, and as far as I know, my people were Catholics when they came over, so they're all Baptists now, but they were Catholics back then. So I don't know. I don't think I want to explore that side of my heritage, but I'm trying to explore myself, and I don't put a deity to it. Although I do have my little good luck Buddha. I rub his belly every morning. I don't believe it brings me good luck, but it's my fat Buddha. I like my fat Buddha. So I'm a traitor still, but not really. I'm still an atheist. I don't believe in none of the bullshit. I don't believe in none of the Buddhist bullshit. If it's bullshit, I don't believe it. I am finally have my own copy of Tao Te Ching. So I've been enjoying having that, and I'm really starting to delve into the philosophical pillars of Zen. So yeah, just doing a lot of meditating, exploring myself. But it's gonna be a wild ride with this fascism bullshit. So I'm probably still gonna have pretty much the same positions on most religious bullshit. But I really want to start trying to understand people. Like, why are you the way that you are? Do you think you should change? Do you realize you're fucked up? Because I realize I'm fucked up, and I think most of us do, but are we strong enough to admit it about ourselves, So, I mean, that's kind of what I'm interested in right at this moment, trying to get to the roots. So, yeah, I guess I'll see you guys soon. Peace.